So Van and I don't understand what's happened with The Rock's career. Neither of us want to see Red One. I haven't wanted to see a movie with The Rock in like 10 years. I like The Rock.
Yeah.
I support The Rock. I want it to work out for him as a movie star. And I don't care when his movies come out. Red One apparently is coming out. We're going to watch the trailer right now. That looks awful.
Yeah.
Who's going to see that?
So
why are we doing this still? Why are we doing movies like this?
So I have a theory about The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't mean it in any way to be fucked up. The Rock's impression, and I think some people believe the impression of who he is as a movie star is way, way, way inflated. Way inflated.
What is the impression?
The impression, people always say, hey, I was having a conversation with somebody one time and they go, well, you need somebody like The Rock to kind of sell that movie. The Rock really doesn't sell movies. The Rock has been in some successful movies, but most of the movies that he's been in that are successful are big-time ensemble pieces.
You know who The Rock is? He's Malik Monk. He needs to come in off the bench and hit a couple threes.
Yeah,
but you don't even know if you want him in crunch time.
So something like that, in order to make a movie that's that ridiculous work, you need someone that people have got to watch. That's like
there's like nobody like that.
That's a prime, not now, but that's a prime Arnold Schwarzenegger type movie.
So that's the thing.
Where if you put Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie, say 1992, and even Last Action Hero fucking flopped, but if you put him in that movie in like 1992, maybe people go out to see it.
Here's what The Rock doesn't have: unintentional comedy.
He can be funny though.
He has comedy, not unintentional comedy.
Oh, I see
the reason Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Stallone, it was fun to watch those guys, but also kind of make fun of them as you're watching them. And The Rock's like, he just seems like a good guy. And he's big and he's strong. He's always too big and too strong for any situation. I never feel like he's in danger. He's going to lose a fight, which Arnold had too. But Arnold had the whole Arnold. It was just everything he said was funny. He could be like, here's my water cooler. And it'd be like, that's funny.
Yeah,
and he's just like holding a water cooler.
Right.
The Rock's, there's nothing funny about him.
Yeah. He's got charisma. He is
but
definitely a movie
he's
star.
the greatest wrestler of all time, and he has charisma.
Maybe.
But they've never, you don't think he's the greatest wrestler of all time?
No.
Who brought more to the table than The Rock?
I think he's probably the greatest wrestling movie star of all time. I don't think he's the greatest
I'm not saying he's the greatest in-ring wrestler. I'm saying he brought, if you're talking about who is the most talented wrestler for being an A-list wrestler who could be a champion, who could do mic drops and long speeches and actually have a good match, I think he's the best one.
It hurts me.
He was an unbelievable character.
It hurts me to say this.
Hulk Hogan?
It's Hogan. It is.
I think Rock. Late 90s Rock, there's nothing like him.
So
he could ad-lib for 10 minutes.
Shout out Ring of Wrestling Show. Ask Shoemaker, ask Cass, ask one of those guys.
Hogan's amazing. He completely changed the genre.
But even Austin, dog. Like
Austin was great.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But whatever. All I'm saying is a movie like that is what I'm hoping that happens is, and maybe it will. Spectacle is one thing. Mission Impossible is going to have a ton of spectacle. But a movie like that, I just wonder when they're greenlighting that movie, what proof of concept, I know that comes from the Jumanji guy, and he's made a lot of money doing those particular movies.
Yeah.
But even Jumanji is like, it's IP. They got Kevin Hart in it. They got Jack Black in it. They got a lot of different people around there.
Well, it's also a remake.
Right. What I'm saying is with that, I just wonder who that's for. I mean, that could be cool. I could see myself watching that on the on-demand thing for like $3.99 at one point.
I wouldn't pay 1 penny.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I'm on an airplane, how desperate I'd have to be and how long the flight would have to be before Red One even is entertained.
Let me ask you this then. You're a guy.
I think the flight would have to be 20 hours.
You're a guy that people bring ideas for to execute ideas.
That one, I'd make them leave.
What would you say is
Please go. I hate this idea.
That movie has a $250 million budget.
Yeah.
Why?
Set that money on fire. Also, why is it called Red One? It doesn't even tell you what the movie's about.
Red One is Santa's call sign.
How do I know that? I'm just sitting here. I don't know what Red One is.
It's not.
In the movie, you're saying it's a call sign.
It's not in that trailer, but
call it Santa's kidnapped.
In the first trailer, they say Red One is down or whatever. Red One is Santa's call sign. So they're trying to save Santa. That's what it's about.
Cool. That was too much explanation.
I'm saying
I should be able to know what a movie's about in 5 words, 2 seconds.
So there's something else that's happening here. A lot of the Christmas movies that used to come out,
Yeah.
like a couple of years ago, there was a dark Christmas movie. I can't remember the name of it. It's actually pretty good, where Santa was killing people. It's like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I know that guy from Stranger Things was in that.
Yeah.
Oh, David Harbour.
Yeah, he was in that. That
Violent Night.
Evil
Night.
Santa.
Like, he wasn't evil. He was trying to help out.
Oh, I thought he was like a serial killer.
No.
I would see that movie too.
A family had got taken over by terrorists or people the family had a lot of money. And the mom was bad or whatever or something like that. And the terrorists had taken over the family. It was like Die Hard with Santa.
Yeah.
It actually worked. Like, we went and saw it. I think people are trying to figure out how to reinvigorate the Christmas movie.
And reinvigorate The Rock.
Well, The Rock is doing fine.
Not as a movie star. His movies stink.
My point is this, the movies have never really been that good.
No. I know a lot of people who like Walking Tall, which was a remake, by the way.
Right.
But he was good in Walking Tall.
The Rundown?
The Rundown. These movies came out 20 years ago. He's good in Pain and Gain, which wasn't a good movie, but he was good in it.
Then you have the stuff that really got him. It's the Fast and the Furious stuff.
Which he's really good in.
He's really good, but they aren't his movies. And there was a power.
Could he have been the wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
No. That had to be somebody more beat down. He's doing something like that, though. He's doing a UFC movie now.
The
Smashing Machine. Coming
it's
out with one of the Safdies
it's
for
crazy
A24.
to me that we have not unlocked him as a good movie actor.
I hate it when
and I
people
know
say
he's
that.
made a bunch of movies and he's made a bunch of money. I get it.
No.
I'm just saying, like, would you buy like, hey, Van, here's your Christmas gift. It's a 10-movie collection of Blu-rays of The Rock.
No, but I
You'd be
hate
like,
it.
oh, gee, thanks.
No, do you know why I hate it when people say that? To me, that's
Say he doesn't make good movies? He doesn't.
No, I hate it when people say we haven't unlocked him. He's been doing it for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, we've been doing it wrong.
We haven't been doing it wrong. It is who it
He's
is.
been
What it
doing it
is.
wrong.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm happy that Cliff Kingsbury is doing well right now as calling plays for Jaden Daniels. But after a while, I started to think, why do we keep hiring this guy and putting this guy in situations? Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, The Rock is who he is.
Put him in different movies. So, The Fugitive, would you want him in the Tommy Lee Jones part or the Harrison Ford part?
He's too fucking big to be in either part.
Right. So that's the problem with The Rock, is he's unnaturally large
now,
and it just limits all of these different possible roles.
Now, let me ask you this.
Which was, by the way, what happened with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had a 10-year run and then it petered out because he was unnaturally big.
I'll give you somebody.
Okay.
Why does an acting career work for Dave Bautista, who is also big as fucking shit? But the reality is this.
But Rock wouldn't have played. What was that M. Night Shyamalan, the Evil movie?
Dave Bautista has a gear just from an acting standpoint
that The Rock does now. Yeah.
The Rock has movie star charisma that maybe Dave Bautista doesn't have, and he's a much, much, much more successful wrestler and compelling in-ring character. But Dave Bautista is doing Dune. He's working with Denis. Right. He's doing
But you almost can't put The Rock
Onion.
in Dune because he's too famous. Like, you can't unsee The Rock when you're watching The Rock in a movie. He's always The Rock.
Perhaps, but you also got to act. When you're acting against Skarsgård or Timothy Chalamet or Javier Bardem, like, you have to act. You have got to act. When you're in Glass Onion and it's you and Daniel Craig, you got to act. You can't charm your way through the scene.
So you're saying maybe Ballers wasn't enough reps for him?
I'm saying that we'll see. And by the way,
there's no we'll see. He's like 50. If it would have happened by now.
I get it. I don't think he's actually tried this that much. I mean, maybe he tried it a little bit where he changed his name to Dwayne Johnson and he lost a ton of weight and he tried to, but I don't know that he's tried this particular thing, like what he's going to try to do with the
He's tried everything. He even tried to lose half his leg in Skyscraper and it was like, he's Dwayne Johnson, but he doesn't have both legs.
But see, this is my thing.
Save the day. And it's like, that movie sucked.
This is my thing.
I'm the audience for that movie and I didn't like it.
The movies like that are the movies that tell me like what kind of movie star you are. I'll go back to Will Smith's run. During Will Smith's run, it's not like every single Will Smith movie that came out was fucking amazing. It's not like I, Robot is amazing. It's not like Hitch is amazing. These are movies that are good movies and good experiences because
built around a charismatic
Will Smith
guy
is in them.
Like, so Rock could have been an iRobot, I think.
It
He's
wouldn't
the
have been
last guy on the earth?
It wouldn't have been as good. iRobot is not the last. That's I Am Legend.
Right. I got my Weird Will
You
Smith
got
movies.
Weird
I think
iRobot
we've
is
done
the
both
one
of
with
them
the
on the
robots.
rewatchables.
But what I'm saying is, it seems like anybody could do that, or somebody of that ilk could do that, but you got to really be able to serve the audience to be able to do it. And Will kind of ran out of it too at one point. Will got there, and then people no longer felt that way about him anymore.
I don't know what the move is, but I know it's not Red One.
Nah, Red One's going to be...
I like how you got frustrated with me that I didn't understand why Red One was the title, but then I also had to pay attention during the trailer to understand what Red One is.
It wasn't that I got frustrated.
Now, immediately,
that's
a terrible title.
No, is that I told you like 2 or 3 times.
I know, I still don't get it. How about Santa's been kidnapped
Red
as the
One
title?
is Santa's call sign.
I get it. Do you think Chris Evans, there was like 5 early 40s, late 30s white actors that they kind of combed through before they landed on him? Like did like John Krasinski turn it down?
Sexiest man alive. I like this for Chris Evans.
Okay.
But the reason why I like this for Chris Evans is because this means I get Steve Rogers again. Chris Evans is going to kick it around for a couple of years. He's now, there's one thing you can't say about him. You can't say he can't act.
Who's Steve Rogers?
I need to see Chris Evans. Chris Evans left Captain America too early for me.
Is that Steve Rogers?
That's Steve Rogers, yes.
Okay.
And so
I genuinely didn't know.
I love Chris Evans and love to see him do good stuff, but I want to see him play Steve Rogers again. And movies like this tell me that he's going to be doing it again.
Me too. Chris Evans, I want to see you play Steve Rogers again, even though I don't know who that is.